Hey, welcome to the Windows channel, and this is the Tech News Update. We are Friday, March 17th, 2017, and today in our Tech News Update, we have a new type of scam or ransomware that appeared, and it's of course, a new PC tech support scam. Basically, it's a ransomware that you get if you download some software and it contains third-party stuff in it that you also install. I always say be careful where you get the software that you want. Often they are bundled with crapware, ransomware, and all sorts of little things like that. Well, this is a case like that. So basically, you're trying to find something instead of getting it from the official website of the company. So, for example, instead of going to Apple.com to get iTunes, you actually search it on Google, then you get on this weird website that promises to give you iTunes, but it's also bundled with all other things, and well, that's how you get this type of ransomware. What it does, it places a little software on your PC that shows up as Event Monitor when you try to look at it from the Task Manager. And when an app crashes, it pops up and says, "Oh, call this number. Your computer has problems and maybe at risk," and tries to scare you. And apparently, it actually makes you call a number that kind of gives you tech support or fake tech support from India. So of course now they try to fix your PC, but there's nothing wrong with your PC really except that little crapware there. So don't fall for this. Remember, every time you see on the web anywhere a phone number that pops up that says you might be at risk, call this number. Never call that number. 90% of the time there's no problem. Well, this is a interesting little story about a ransomware that also exists, and it's a Star Trek themed malware that actually will encrypt your files. And the funniest thing, well, it's not funny because when you get your files encrypted, it's not cool, but basically, once you pay to get your files decrypted, it uses a Spock decryptor to actually decrypt your files. So, well, at least we can say that these scammers have a little bit of imagination. Wishbone is a social app that actually lets you, conduct all sorts of surveys and compare things. Basically, it's an app that often goes through Facebook, for example. Well, what we know now is that they've had a data breach. Right now, they're saying that only emails were breached, meaning that 2 million emails were actually breached. But you know what? Don't take any chances. Make sure that you change your passwords if you actually have used. What's also a little difficult with Wishbone is that sometimes you might have gone on Wishbone without even knowing it through Facebook, of course. So let's hope that things go better in the future. But this is another example of how these social media websites can also bring us other third-party apps and websites that, if they suffer data breach, well, can expose information basically. Windows Insider Preview build 15060 is now available for insiders, only a few days after the release of 15058. Now, one of the things that we think happened is that a lot of people complained that 15058 they could not upgrade, and that they probably released this one really fast because they fixed the bug that prevented people from upgrading, and wanted to make sure that as many people go to the latest Insider Preview as possible. Of course, take a look at my videos. I will have a little quick review coming up just a little later now. Seventh generation Intel Core processors and also the AMD Ryzen CPUs that are running Windows 7 and Windows 8.1 might soon display a message that says your PC does not support this CPU, and that, of course, it tells you you need Windows 10 to have updates. It seems that Microsoft is pushing now even more on the fact that, okay, if you want to have a Ryzen CPU on your PC or the 7th gen Intel, well, use Windows 10 because it will be the only operating system that supports these CPUs. And finally, a lot of interesting information coming out of a security research that actually purchased hundreds of hard disks through eBay and through local ads, and they say, you know what, people are careless. 70%, 75% of all the drives sold actually contained data that was really easy to recover, and they say that some were actually very sensitive data. And of course, they say that SSD hard drives also contain the same problem. And they say on SSDs it's even worse. More than 90% of solid state drives sold contained previous owner's data. They also say do not think that companies that promise that you will be safe will actually do it, because they say that one of the things they've noticed is that many companies that say they're going to erase everything, make sure nobody can access data, actually don't really do much. And they've even been surprised at buying hard drives that weren't even erased with data all already there. So be careful if you have to sell a hard drive. Make sure that it contains nothing, or that it's not easy to actually access the old stuff that's on it. So this was the Tech News Update for Friday, March 17th, 2017. This is, of course, a daily news item that we have every day of the week. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, let us know. And hopefully you enjoy our videos. Thank you for watching.